and dignity to the district attorney's office. I think I'm the person to do that.
John Hamasaki, criminal defense attorney, former San Francisco police commissioner, planning to run for DA in this fall's special election.
You know, it seems like the district attorney's office has lost its independence and fallen under the control of the mayor's office, which I think is really unfortunate and challenging.
He says since the mayor appointed Brooke Jenkins to the job, his phone hasn't stopped ringing.
I've received calls and texts and messages from people inside the district attorney's office that I didn't even know, that were so frustrated, and still are so frustrated by what appears to be a rudderless ship.
Election Day, November 8th. Jim Taylor, KCBS.
Santa Clara County Sheriff's detectives arrested a 51-year-old Milpitas man yesterday on suspicion of having an unlawful sexual relationship with a juvenile. Kevin Cable was arrested at his workplace in Palo Alto. Cable is a registered sex offender. Officials say that when he was arrested, Cable admitted to engaging in sexual activities with the 15-year-old and also admitted to engaging in sexual activities with additional minors. Investigators believe there are additional victims who have yet to come forward. Coming up on KCBS.
This is Matt Bigler in Antioch, where Governor Newsom calls for fast-tracking everything from reservoirs to desalination plants to boost California's water supply.
KCBS News Time, 11:08. Let's check traffic and weather together tonight. And joining us this hour, it's Frank Munich. Frank is in the house. Right?
Well, good evening, John. We are looking at a continuing problem in Oakland. Southbound 13, just before the 580 split, we have an accident, an injury crash involving one car overturned. We now have a traffic brake in place back at Park to try and clear this crash. Again, that crash, southbound 13, just before the 580 split in Oakland. Crash in Sunol. This is on eastbound 84, just as you come off of Highway 680. That's as 84 becomes Vallecillos Road and makes its way towards the GE plant there. We have a two-car crash. No indication that lanes are blocked. And we do have road work this evening that will be going on for the next several hours in San Jose. Both directions of 237 at the 101 split. The right lane is shut down in each direction. That road work will be going on until 6 tomorrow morning, with no indication that we have any slow traffic. We've been looking at our road sensors there, and traffic moving well in both directions. Your next update at 11:18 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Your Bay Area forecast with breezy and patchy coastal and bay fog overnight. Mostly clear skies inland with lows in the 60s. Sunny and warm tomorrow after morning overcast with only partial clearing at the coastline. Highs in the 60s there. 70s around the bay to just about the upper 80s to 90 degrees inland. And keep in mind we do have those extremely high tides again tomorrow due to the Sturgeon supermoon. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Hey Ace fans, we've got a great deal for you. Get 4 tickets and parking for all Friday night games starting at just $39. Pick from great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more.
Outside corner, ring him up. And Eaton can't believe it.
Grab the crew and head to the Coliseum with friends and family any Friday night this season. 4 tickets and parking starting at just $39 for the whole group. Tickets are available at athletics.com. That's athletics.com.
Do you have heart failure? And often hear,
those stomach issues ruined your birthday.
You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa.
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
if these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Replacing your windows and doors can be life-changing, inspiring you to live a healthy, happy life. And it's never been easier. Marvin Windows and Doors bring in daylight and fresh air, blending the indoors with the outdoors, so you're always connected to nature. They're designed for life, with an inspiring range of options to create the look you want and the lasting quality you need. Your local independent Marvin dealer will give you straight answers and advice about window and door replacement. specialists help you plan your project and select the right products for your needs. You'll always know what you're getting with a detailed proposal to make the whole process easier. If you're ready to transform your space with windows and doors you love, schedule your free consultation today at replacementmadeeasy.com. That's replacementmadeeasy.com.
KCBS News Time, 11:11. Governor Newsom wants to throw open the tap for massive water supply projects in California.
This is Matt Bigler in Antioch, where Governor Newsom toured a water treatment plant, which is expanding with the first desalination facility in the Bay Area. The governor said it's projects like these that are desperately needed to boost the state's supply of water during a third year of severe drought.
This is not the solution to the water crisis, desalination, but it is a significant part of our effort and our portfolio.
That portfolio also includes doubling the amount of recycled water by 2030, building new reservoirs, and stormwater capture projects. Newsom also appointed former Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa as the state's infrastructure czar.
A plan that will focus not just on water and all of the ancillary issues, but on jobs, on good middle-class jobs.
However, there is little that state agencies can do to change environmental regulations, which have stymied many state water projects. Newsom vowed to cut red tape and boost funding for local water agencies during the drought. In Antioch, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
And from water to wind. The state will be getting more power from wind energy in the near future. The California Energy Commission has approved a measure that calls for the state to produce 25 gigawatts from offshore wind by the year 2030. No offshore wind farm currently exists in California, but the process is starting soon. And experts at UC Berkeley believe that the offshore wind could eventually account for a quarter of California's electricity needs. Traffic and weather coming up. We've got your sports update in about 90 seconds. Stay with us here on the News Watch tonight. KCBS News Time 11:14.
Buy your car completely online or reserve your brand new ride while in transit. Hey, it's Sean O'Grant of DGDG. We've got thousands of vehicles to choose from with brand new models arriving daily. You can buy your new or used car from start to finish completely online with our exclusive no-brainer checkout. And yes, you can even reserve your new vehicle while in transit. Enjoy the outstanding offers you'll find right now at DGDG. That's DGDG.
So yes, it was after midnight and the glue on your kid's mission project refused to dry. But once everything was finished, you realized the smooth white and terracotta make this piece of history beautiful. CertaPro Painters has good news. Your home paint project doesn't have to come with the frustration and panic of your child's fourth grade project. Skip the stress and still end with the look you love. To get your painting project started, go to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. License information available at CertaPro.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh, tasty coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
The biannual blowout is just a week away, and we've got a lot of work to do.
Keenan's Rug Emporium is rolling out a Labor Day bonanza.
Have that flat beef shipment coming in.
He needs 10 new sales associates as the crowds loom large.
Someone run a stock check on all the Moroccan 8x10s?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Coming up on KCBS.
I'm Jim Taylor. 1 dead, 3 wounded outside a Brentwood fitness gym.
We have at least 1 suspect detained.
KCBS News Time, 11:15. The A's and the Giants were both off tonight. The A's will head to Houston for a 3-game series starting tomorrow night. And the Giants will host the Pirates at Oracle Park in San Francisco. And with more sports, let's check in now with Ken.
The Associated Press is reporting that Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson would accept an 8-game suspension and a $5 million fine to avoid missing the entire season. Watson is facing a potential year-long ban for sexual misconduct. he would agree to a lesser penalty, but it's not up to him. He was suspended 6 games by Sue L. Robinson of the league, but the NFL appealed, and a former New Jersey Attorney General will decide whether Watson will sit out the entire season. Some beautiful comments from the Reds' Joey Votto at the Field of Dreams game. Before the game, Ken Rosenthal of Fox spoke to Votto about his love of the movie Field of Dreams and what it would have meant to him to have his father on hand. His father, Joseph, died 14 years ago.
I wish he was here to actually play catch, have a catch with me. He would be, smitten by it. It's so charming. It's exactly what I think baseball was about between us. It was very quiet. It was a shared moment. It was love between father and son. And I feel that here. So I think he would feel the very same thing.
Joey Votto on Fox at the Field of Dreams game. At the sports desk, Kevin Radich, KCBS.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake and tire replacements, oil changes, and much more. It's the ultimate convenience. Easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrivals, and service right in your driveway. No waiting rooms, and direct access to your mechanic with friendly and reliable service. No middleman or upsells. They're so sure you'll love the convenience. Take $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50. Kirby, your driveway mechanic.
Fremont Bank. If there's one thing we understand more than anybody, it's that it takes a local bank to really get the needs of local businesses. And more than anything, local businesses need access. Access to a knowledgeable banker and access to a full suite of business services. Can't come to the bank? We'll come to you. Our devotion to our clients ensures your business never misses a beat. That's why Fremont Bank remains the right choice for local and family-owned businesses. Learn more at fremontbank.com. Member FDIC.
KCBS News Time, 11:18, traffic and your 6-day forecast coming up in just a moment. Frank Munich joins us now in the traffic center. What are you following tonight, Frank?
Well, we're still following this big problem in Oakland. It's southbound 13, just before the 580 split, an injury crash involving an overturned car. We have had that blocking the right lane, and now it's essentially blocking all lanes because we have a traffic break being done to try and clear the crash back at Park. So that is a good place to avoid, at least for now. Southbound 13, just before the 580 split, we have an injury crash still being dealt with. Two-car injury crash on eastbound 84 in Sonoma as it becomes Vallecillos Road, heading away from Highway 680. No indication that we have lanes blocked there. We are seeing some slowing at the scene. And we are looking at road work in a couple of places around the Bay Area, on the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, for example, where we have it across the full span, eastbound 580. The two right lanes are coned off from before San Quentin all the way out to the tolls. That until 5 tomorrow morning, and we're seeing patches of slow traffic between San Quentin and mid-span. Your next update at 11:28 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Bay Area weather, 6-day forecast. Breezy with patchy coastal and bay fog overnight. Mostly clear skies inland with lows in the 60s. Sunny and warm tomorrow. After morning overcast, temperatures from the 60s to about 90 degrees and just slightly warmer Saturday through Wednesday. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Have weekend plans? Take us along for the ride.
A long day of beautification here. Volunteers rolling up their sleeves.
Day, night, and weekend. We keep you up to date on the news, traffic, and weather.
Beautification volunteers doing their thing on campuses all over Oakland.
It's one more reason why we're the Bay Area's #1 news station.
On the already beautiful campus of Westlake Middle School, Jim Taylor, KCBS.
All news, all the time, right here on KCBS.
KCBS News Time, 11:20. Actress Anne Hesh is not expected to survive after a fiery crash in Mar Vista in the LA area last week. She's been in a coma since shortly after the accident. Severe burns and lung injuries, and she is being kept on life support while medical staff members determine whether any of her organs are viable for donation. The crash left her with severe anoxic brain injury. Investigators, meanwhile, continue to probe the circumstances surrounding the accident and found that Hesh was under the influence of narcotics at the time of the incident. They're not completely certain. They believe that she'd been under the influence of both cocaine and fentanyl. They're not certain when she got the fentanyl. That could have been at the hospital. Again, we'll continue to follow developments of this ever-changing story. One person was killed and several were wounded in a shooting outside a gym in Brentwood. 2 people have been detained. KCBS's Jim Taylor with more.
In the 2 o'clock hour inside the gym, sports activities getting a little out of control.
It started inside the 24-hour fitness on or around the basketball courts and then moved out into the front parking lot where things escalated.
Gunfire ensued, a lot of it. Brentwood Police Lieutenant Walter Ogrodnik says when police arrived, it was chaos. Dead and wounded in the parking lot of the 24-hour fitness. He says at least 2 shooters involved. Yeah, lots of surveillance footage to plow through, both indoors and out. The investigation continues in Brentwood. Jim Taylor, KCBS.
Telecom service was restored to thousands of Santa Rosa Comcast customers last night, several hours after work crews damaged fiber optic lines. KCBS's Jeffrey Schaub reports that the incident calls attention to the need for homeowners and contractors to alert utilities before digging.
So that's telling us where the line is, right? Yes, and you can actually hear the tone.
PG&E locate and mark expert Joseph Teo uses a high-tech device similar to a handheld Geiger counter to trace an underground gas line from the street to Steve Penna's house.
And then what, you put the flags in? Yeah, so depending on the terrain, we'll flag it out if it's in dirt, gravel, grass.
On the sidewalk, Joseph marks the line with spray paint. Today is National Safe Digging Day, and the utility is surveying Steve's yard because he dialed 811 before starting landscape work.
811, I guess is supposed to be the place you call so all the utilities are contacted, so they can come out, and if there's anything underground, they're supposed to mark it for you.
The number of severed utility lines caused by digging are up in the Bay Area, often resulting, if it's a PG&E gas line, in a fire department response, even neighborhood evacuations. In Marin last year, there were 47 so-called strike incidents. So far this year, there are 46, and the year's not over. In San Rafael, Jeffrey Schaub, KCBS.
20,000 fish were found dead at a UC Davis research facility. KCBS's David Welch reports that the fish were part of a study looking at man-made stressors on marine life.
After testing the water inside the tanks, Lori Brignolo, Executive Director of Research and Teaching for UC Davis's Animal Care Program, says chlorine is most likely to blame. Small amounts of the chemical were found in the tanks, about the same amount found in drinking water. 21,000 fish died in all, a loss that's left university staff and students devastated. Brignolo says it's important that they find out exactly what happened.
First and foremost, how to absolutely ensure that this can never happen again, either at the Cabo facility or at any UC Davis facility.
She says they've started the process of removing the dead fish.
So they will go through the same process as any other fish that was either euthanized or died in that facility. They go through a rendering process through a local contract rendering company.
And she says a full investigation into the accident is underway as well.
We are looking at all of our different systems to make certain that this is not going to happen again.
David Welch, KCBS.
KCBS News Time, 11:25, and here is your Money Watch update tonight.
Apple is making a big bet on itself. Sources say it's asking suppliers to build at least as many next-generation iPhones this year as last. It's counting on its affluent customers to help it weather a global electronics downturn. Selling and technology upended a Wall Street rally ignited by 2 weaker-than-expected inflation reports this week. Stocks ended mixed to lower. The Dow rose 27, the S&P fell 3, the Nasdaq lost 75. Well, this could take some pressure off inflation, rising production, and slowing demand, weighing on the price of plastics. That could help automakers and others who've been struggling with rising raw materials costs. Larry Kofsky, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
My dad ran a few neighborhood markets, but he taught me more about being a lawyer than any professor I had in law school. You talked about him in our meeting with the legal team. Dad told me that I would be successful if I ran my law practice in the same